Hey, what's up YouTube, here's Dave or DBEE. Welcome back again to another video. Actually, why am I wearing a headset for this? I don't need to wear a headset for this type of video. So how you guys doing? Hopefully you're doing good. And welcome to a new type of video. And it's I don't even know how to describe these types of videos. Basically a breakdown. Basically it's just my opinions on whatever anime I'm talking about. And today I'm going to be talking about I watched Dragon Ball in 2021. The title is kind of misleading because I watched this anime like 2 years ago actually. But it just looks better for the purpose of the title, so it's still my opinions. It's still fresh in my mind as an anime. I watched it like not 10 years ago. I literally watched it like 2 years ago. I still hold similar like opinions of if I watched it recently. And I don't have like that nostalgic feeling that most Dragon Ball fans have compared to me. Which doesn't really sway, I guess, my opinion on the show. And I kind of hopefully can take it at face value. At least I think I take the show at just face value and enjoy it for what it is, rather than having this prestige image of the show, because that's what tends to happen with older shows. We get this super prestige image in our memory. The show is great, it's amazing, it's my childhood, but in reality some of the shows could be lacking in a lot of departments. So sorry for the misleading title, but still, for the purpose of the video it works. So anyhow, Dragon Ball, I'm referring to the whole Dragon Ball franchise at once. I'm not going to be doing separate videos for separate versions. Whole franchise as a whole, the whole show. Not the manga, I'm not really a manga reader. I want to get into manga, but maybe one day. But as the show, holy shit, it was a roller coaster of emotions. That show is what got me into anime. This is why I'm also doing the first episode of the series on Dragon Ball, because it just deserves the respect. It got me into anime, so I'll introduce it first and why I enjoyed the living shit out of that show. It was so ridiculously good. That's what I would want to say. I really would want to say, but Dragon Ball as a show is a very hit or miss thing. It's a very hit or miss thing. If you enjoy fights that are 20 plus episodes long, this could be a show for you. Otherwise, it might feel like a drag, or just things get extended way more than they should be. Some fights happen which I just thought didn't make sense, because it just, what was the purpose basically of them, apart from some little fan service or giving the characters extra screen time, like deliberately. Okay, I'm being too harsh. But that is a very solid criticism of Dragon Ball as an anime. Fights do take way longer than they should for some parts of the show. A good example, I think, is the Tournament of Power arc at the very end in Dragon Ball Super, as it's purely fan service, and like a lot of those fights realistically could have been cut out and made the anime pacing way better. But at least it gave the animators some like free time to animate this rough episode of some rough fight, and then just focus later on the big fights and have more time for the main events. I understand that much. Another thing about the show is I'm just gonna get the negatives out the way first, and then we're gonna just absolutely glorify the show. The story is also hit or miss. There is really a lot of high points when it comes to story, but there's equally as much low points when it comes to the storyline. This is really seen in the OG Dragon Ball, like very heavily. It gets really bad actually sometimes in the OG Dragon Ball. It gets incredibly bad. Some of the oh my god, what were they? Oh, I forgot what are their names called. The Force Goku fought against. Holy shit, how could I forget this? Like, he went into that tower in that snow place and all my days. What were they called? The Red Army? No, that's Russia, or was it that? But basically the army Goku fought against, that was a very painfully slow arcs. They were really slow, and I think they were paced terribly. But the one thing saving OG Dragon Ball was its comedy. You cannot tell me how funny that show was. Goku being Goku basically is the best description I can give you for that show. Goku being Goku at its finest. Quick drink here. And then his evolution, like the Piccolo arc was insanely good. Like both arcs. King Piccolo and then the Piccolo we know and like love. Like the current version Piccolo. Both arcs were amazing, really good. The tournament arc in OG Dragon Ball was also incredibly well done. Even I remember characters till this day like Nam. Nam is such a legendary character in the Dragon Ball universe, even though he doesn't appear for that long. Think about that. That OG Dragon Ball did that arc really well, and the fight with, against Krillin and Roshi, also a masterpiece. Also a masterpiece. But the plot twist for that fight was a little bit BS, but we let it slide. Just he won because of the legs were longer. A little bit of BS, but we let it slide. It's Dragon Ball. It's cool as shit. That's all we need to know, and that's all we need to care about. This, I guess, brings me to the next point of Dragon Ball as an anime as a whole it's a mess. Let's be realistic with ourselves. As a show, it's a mess. Too many high points, too many low points. I guess in theory that should, balance it out, but that makes the pacing of the show incredibly bad at points. Very incredibly bad at points. Also, I watched the show with all the filler. I didn't watch Kai, so that also sways. I really wanted the pure Dragon Ball experience. That's why I watched the show with the filler. I don't care. I don't mind filler. I'm not also judging filler for pacing. Filler is there just to fill the time. It doesn't have to do anything with the actual story. Filler is there just to have some fun and explore creatively the show. Like Piccolo taking his driving test was one of the funniest shit I think I've seen in anime, period. Like, think about it. This basically green alien is going to just taking a driving test. Like, even on paper it just sounds ridiculous. And knowing that alien could destroy the world if he just got triggered also makes it even more funny. But that leads me again towards the idea of Dragon Ball as a concept is so ridiculously cool. Just this fighter from another planet basically who grew up on Earth. Also, I have a hair. Okay, we'll get rid of that. This fighter from another planet comes to Earth. He is able to turn Super Saiyan. He beats the bad guys up. He is absolutely broken. I know it triggers people when people go like, oh, Goku solos. Realistically, Goku usually solos, but we also move on from that point. But it's such a cool, the fights are cool as shit when they're done correctly. The Broly fight, the new Broly fight was incredible. The hit fight, I think was absolutely amazing. I really loved that tournament. The hit fight was really, really, really good. The Cell arc was absolutely that. I think the Cell arc was peak of Dragon Ball Z. In my opinion, when it comes to arcs as a whole, it goes Cell arc, Frieza arc, and then Buu arc. In my opinion, Buu arc was the most lacking out of the three. But Cell arc was absolutely incredible. What else was amazing? Even in OG Naruto early on, what was when he was going to, not Kami's place, but the fella under Kami? Oh, what was his name? To the cat who gives him senzu beans. Is that a cat? I can't remember. The cat at the bottom of the huge pillar. He had to fight with the fella who turned cyborg later on, which was just cool as shit. That fight was done really well also. I remember it till this day. And how Goku was helping everyone along the way was also, I think, super, super incredible. And it's very difficult to not fall in love with Goku. Realistically, it's very difficult. He is relatable is a stretch, because I don't think all of us can instant teleport and destroy universes with the snap of our fingers, but he's funny, he eats a lot, he is insanely immature. He's basically like the kid self that we have inside of us, that we all just want to project out into the world. But we're just too embarrassed to do it. That's why we have anime and people like Goku. Also, Goku follows the typical formula, for your stereotypical MC. I shouldn't say he follows. He's set out. He's the template for the future anime's MCs, because he worked so ridiculously well and people liked him so ridiculously. I mean, Dragon Ball as a franchise, it's so huge and incredible. All the games are sick also. I'm a huge fan of the Dragon Ball games. Xenoverse, absolutely amazing. I understand separate storylines, but I'm not going to get into the games, but just putting out there, I think the games are good. I really enjoy them. Man, I really wonder how differently I would think of the show if I grew up with it. That's the one thing I kind of regret about watching the show. I wish I grew up with it, like from a very, very young age. Because I've heard stories from my uncles about the show. My uncles used to skip class, run home, just to see the new episode of Dragon Ball. Which I thought was absolutely insane. Or, sorry about that. Or just go and make sure to stay up later to watch like the re-showing of the episodes if they missed it, because they always aired after school for them. And I always heard about Dragon Ball growing up because of my uncles, but I never actually got into it until like 2 years back, which I regret because my uncles really tried getting me into Dragon Ball. They really did try, but then I don't know why I was obsessed with not watching anime at all, and that was my mistake. I really wish I could have grown up the show, because this show is absolutely amazing. I don't know, I think this is a nice way to sum up the episode, like today. I might do a tier list of different Dragon Ball arcs, specifically, seeing maybe how this video does. And I think this is it, yeah. I don't want to make these videos too long. I want all these series to be like just me giving my brief opinion. If this does well, maybe a part 2 of just more in-depth things, or do a different version of this, like a tier list or something along those lines. But I don't want these videos to stretch out. I want just like my general thoughts just off the head. I won't even come prepared for these videos. Unless I absolutely forgot everything about the show, then I'll come prepared. But yeah, the main thing I want to get out of this video is how badly I regret not being able to grow up with that show. I seriously wish I had. If you're young and you really like anime, try watching Dragon Ball, please. You'll thank me later. Anyhow, the show was great. I need to give Dragon Ball like a solid 6-ish or 7-ish out of 10. It's a very good show. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It was your boy DBEE. Peace out. Goodbye.